this contact officers. So once more, very good evening to one and all. As the topic says, Kupkv Rasayanas, that is what we are going to deal today. And it is rightly told as the panacea of Rasashastra, that is, it is the nectar of Rasashastra. We've got quite a number of kalpanas, number of formulations mentioned in Rasashastra. And Kupkv Rasayanas are definitely the nectar of those kalpanas or rasayanas because of its uh, potency, because of its action, its yogavahi nature, and it is one of the formulations which rightly proclaims the sloka, that is alpamatro upayogitvat aruchir aprasangata shipram arogyadayitvat aushadebhyo adhigorasha. That is, even in the slightest dose, even in the minutest dose, अल्पमात्रोपयोगित्वा अरुचेर with no distaste prasangatah shipramarogyadayatvat. It can make wonders in your body. It can give you vigara shamana as well as rasayanika action in your body. Shipramarogyadayatvat aushadebhyo adhiko rasaha. This is exactly why we recommend rasa medicines for the patients. So Kupkv rasayanas are one such formulations which very rightly go with this verse. So with this, we can move on to our topic. So, in the following slides, we'll be mainly discussing about the history of Kupkv rasayanas, the types of Kupkv rasayanas, the method of preparation, and the importance of Kupkv rasayanas. First of all, let's see about the history. Okay, so coming up to the history of Kupkv rasayanas, we should say that in the future classes we'll be definitely dealing with the history of Rasashastra itself. So in that itself, we could say that Rasashastra has come into existence or has started to like develop as such only from 8th century AD onwards. Before, during the Vedic periods as well as the Samhita periods, those were in privé, especially in Vedic periods, not much as medicines, but they used to take up swarna as ornaments. They used anjana shalaka. They used metals and minerals as vessels. And of course, in one area, it has been mentioned that iron was used to make artificial limb for those people who had lost their limb in their warfare and all. Such references are there in the Vedic period. But coming to Samhita period, we can see more usage of these rasa drugs, metals as well as minerals, but not much in the form of bhasmas or etc. But those were used as like Trapusadi Varga was mentioned in Sushrita Samhita. Charaga uses Lelitika Vasa, that is Gandhaka only, Lelitika Vasa and Kushta as well as Vadashonadam. Such references were there. Even Ayaskriti was mentioned that uses iron flakes in Prameha and all. So such references were there in the Samhita period. So it was very random. Here and there, certain references only. But the actual predominant uses, how to convert these metals and minerals into Vyatihara medicines, how to convert it into Rasayanika medicines, that developed right from 8th century AD onwards with like the advent of Rasasiddha Nagarjuna. He was the student of Nalanda and Nalanda Takshashila. So it was with his advent and with his studies and things that various experimentations that actually Rasa Shastra began his reign in the when we go into the history. And further, with 8th century AD onwards, it was only first it was actually a thought of like a shastra to convert lower metals to higher metals. That is to make more of svarna. So to convert for conversion of metals. It was later in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th century actually with Muslim invasions in India that actually the Shastra had its golden era. That is with the admixture of Unani system, with the admixture of Hakims who were Muslim curers. It was actually then that these bhasma preparations, these pupi pakwa preparations, potali preparations, like how to convert these metals and minerals into certain things which is very good for your health. That is to make it into a formulation, to convert it into certain kalpanas, Those concepts came into existence during after 10th century, that is 11th, 12th, 13th century. That was the golden era of Rasa Shastra. So coming to Kupkv Rasayana history also, we have a similar history to see. The concept of Gandhaka Jarana, that was the beginning, that was the mark of the advent of Kupkv Rasayanas in Rasa Shastra. The basic principles of Kupkv Rasayanas are Moshana as well as Charana. It is a mixture. There is first we do Moshana of Parada, then we are converting it into Jarana. We will deal with those details in the further slides. Okay, just as an introduction and just to say the history of Kupkv Rasayana, let me tell you that concept of Gandhagajarana, how we can do Gandhagajarana. That was first mentioned in 9th century AD by Govind Bhagavad Pada in his book Rasa Hridaya Tantra. Okay, by Govind Bhagavad Pada in Rasa Hridaya Tantra. That was the first time when the concept of Gandhagajarana was introduced. And it was from that onwards that began how you can prepare Kupkv Rasayana. Then further, in around 12th century AD, in Rasendra Chindamani by Somadeva, there it was again mentioned about the Krama Agnipada, how to increase slowly the temperature. The concept of Krama Agnipada was introduced, and this again, this is also one of the major principle underlying Kupkv Rasayana. Further, in 13th century, in Rasaprakasha Suktakara, Acharya Yashodhara Bhatt has mentioned the preparation as Uttaya Bhaskara Rasa. Even in Rasaprakasha Suktakara also, the name Kupkv Rasayana was not coined. The preparation was mentioned and the preparation was named as Uttaya Bhaskara Rasa because at the end point in the Kupi, we saw something like the rising sun, red like the rising sun. I have pictures to show you. Something like that was shown. Because of that, it was known as Udaya Bhaskara Rasa, and the formulations were also known as, or the term was coined as Udaya Bhaskara Rasa, and the use of Sikata Yantra, that is another name for Valuka Yantra, use of Sikata Yantra was also mentioned in Rasa Prakasha Sudhakara. Again, coming into an Ananda Kanda also, under Rasa Moshana Vidhi, similar preparations were mentioned. Rasa Vakpada also in 13th century has mentioned similar procedures for making formulations like Agni Kumara Rasa. Actually, it was in 15th, 16th, 17th century in books like Ayurveda Prakasha, Rasendra Sara Sangraha, Rasa Tarangani, etc. It was in these books the term Kupi Pakwa Rasayana was used. And also in these books, it also had a synonym like Sindhura Rasa or Sindhura Satrasha Rasa. That is because the end product of Kupkv Rasayanas were mostly red in color, mostly like Sindhura. So the preparations were also known as Sindhura Rasa or Sindhura Satrasha Rasa. So actually, it was in these books that we come across the term Kupkv Rasayanas. And it is so simple, we can understand what Kupkv Rasayanas is, right? It is Kupi is bottle, Pakwa to be processed. So something which we process in Kupi. And Rasayanas. Rasayanas, we all know Labhupayuda Shastana, Rasadinam Rasayana. Anything that gets into rasas and anything that nourishes rasa, anything which goes along with rasa to even the minutest channels of your body, that is known as rasayanas. So these preparations, those preparations prepared in Kupi which has rasayanika action, which can reach up to even the minutest channels of your body are termed as Kupi Pakwa Rasayana. So with this we have gone through the history of Kupi Pakwa Rasayanas, how it came into existence. Okay, hope it's clear to you. So next going on to Chaturveda Rasayanas. Okay. So Parata Kalpas, there are different Parata Kalpas. There are different formulations to which Parada can be converted to. So the four different Kalpanas to which the Parada is being converted for using it as Vyadiharatva and for Rasayanika uses is four types, that is Kharaliya Kalpanas, Parpati Kalpanas, Kupi Pakwa Kalpanas and Potali Kalpanas. I'll give a brief explanation about everything because we will be taking these things in detail in further classes. Okay, but now because I've mentioned it, I'll give you a brief explanation of what each of them is. First of all, there is Gharaliya Kalpanas. I hope that almost all of you will be familiar with Gharaliya Kalpanas. Gharaliya Kalpanas is a Kalpana of Mercury which we use mortar which we prepare in a pestle and mortar by titrating in a mortar. And the simplest and the commonest example that we have for Gharaliya Kalpana is Kajali. Okay, we all know about Kajali, right? धातुभिर्गन्धघातैश्च नद्रवेर्मर्दितो रसः सुश्लेष्णकजलाभासो कजली इत्यभिधीयते. That is anything, any dhatu or gandhaka when mixed with mercury, nirdrava, without any drava, and when you get a kajalabha, very black sushlashna, smooth fine material, fine powder, you call that product the kajali. Okay, kajali is the commonest example of Gharaliya kalpana. That is a very good example for Murchana Vidhi also. See, when you say about Murchana and Jarana, I told you that Murchana as well as Jarana combined is Kupkv Rasayana. Okay, the first two of them, Gharaliya Kalpana and Parpati Kalpanas, are the examples of things of Kalpanas which uses Murchana as its basic principle. And now telling about what Murchana is. Okay, there are different uh, basic different procedures by which we convert a metal or a mineral into a useful medicine. Okay, you know samskaras, right? Samskara, gunandradhana muchade. So we use different procedures to convert a raw material into a medicine. So moshana is one such process. Shodhana is one such samskara. We have to purify it, right? In the same way, Marana is another samskara, that is Bhasmikarana. It is another samskara. In the same way, when you have to convert rasa into a medicinal preparation, you have to do Shodhana for sure, but you cannot do Marana that easily. You cannot do Bhasmikarana that so easily. So, for rasa to be converted into a medicinal form, then what can we do? There comes the knowledge of Murchana and Charana. Okay, it is by these processes that we convert a rasa, the Shodhita rasa, into medicines. Okay, so in Murchana Sanskara, it is actually we are introducing a bandha by some procedure, either by like titrating or by Parpati Kalpana, you have to melt it, the kajali, you have to take it in a ladle, melt it, pour it into a banana leaf and press it very well to get purple. This is another preparation. This is also an example of Murchana. That is, what are you doing? Simple kajali itself is Murchana Vidhi. That is, you are combining two things, some things, Dadu or Gandhaka, or maybe a mixture of Dadu and Gandhaka together with Resa, and you are forming a bondage and you are forming a compound there in such a way that this compound is going to give you health. This is going to be a medicine. So the vidhi in which we are converting the resa into a vyadihara property medicine, that vidhi is known as what? Murchana. And the procedure, the Murchana has its base in bandhana. That is the banda. Yena yena hi chanchalya durgrahatvam hi nashyati. Resarajasya samprokto bandhanarto hi Kartikehi. That is the measures, the measures by which yena hena hi chanchalyam durgrahatvam cha nashiti. The chanchalyam property of mercury as well as the durgrahana property of mercury is being controlled. So the measures by which these properties are controlled are termed as bandhana. So only by doing bandhana of mercury we can control the chanchalya and durgrahatva property of rasa, and that is very much important to convert rasa into a medicine. Okay, and by this bandhana, what are we doing? We are bringing vyadighadaka property to rasa. That is tat vidhi prabedena rasasya avyabhijarataha vyadighadagata yasyad samata murchana budehi. That is the quotation. That is the definition of murchana. The ways by which you are bringing vyadighadaka property to rasa. That is the property. That is the method what you called as Murchana. Okay, so this is what you called as motion. And what is Jarana? What is Jarana? Jarana is yet another procedure, that is Purva Avastha Apradipannatvam. That is we are digesting something inside mercury. Yes. The property by which you are digesting something inside mercury so that there is no weight gain for mercury. Such a procedure is termed as Jarana. Then what is the difference between Murchana and Jarana? Moshana mainly gives Vyadhighadagata property, while Jarana can give Vyadhighadagada property as well as Rasayana property. Okay, that is the basic difference. So when it is a Kajali, when it is a Parpadi Kalpana, you get Vyadhighadagada property. When it comes to Kupipakva Kalpanas and when it comes to Kotali Kalpanas, you have got Murjana as well as Jarana involved. So you're going to get Vyadhighadagada property as well as, yes, you are going to get Rasayana property too. So that is the basic difference between these Kalpanas. Okay, hope it's clear to you. Anyway, we'll come in detail about all these things in the later classes. Today we are going to deal about Kupipakva Rasayanas only. Now, keynotes regarding Kupipakva Kalpanas. Okay, it should be Krama Agni Paka. While preparation, it should be Krama Agni Paka, or else you don't get the end product. Valuka Yandra should be there. Indirect and constant heating should be provided. That is, if you're going to give it by external fuel, be sure you're going to give constant heating. Putting fuel, going somewhere and coming will not do. You have to stand with it. Constant heating should be given. Okay, and dose, when you give it, the dose is also very important. So these are the keynotes of Kupipakva Kalpanas. Now we'll come up to the divisions or the types of Kupipakva Kalpanas. So what are the criteria by which we divide Kupipakva Kalpanas? By the presence or absence of Gandhaka, we can divide Kupipakva Rasayanas. By the method of preparation, we can divide Kupipakva Rasayanas. The place of where the end product is formed, by that we can divide Kupipakva Rasayanas. See, with the ingredients, we divide it as Sagandha, Nirgandha. With method of preparation, we divide it as Andarduma and Beharduma. We'll come to it. What is Andarduma, what is Beharduma and all, we'll come to it. Okay. Then, where the end product is being formed. That is, if it is formed in its bottom, we call it Talasta. If it is formed like in the picture, if it is formed in the Kanda, Gala, that is neck of the bottle, we call it Galasta. If the product is formed both in the neck as well as bottom, we call it as Ubhayasta. Okay. See, this is the detailed explanation when it is Sagandha, Nirgandha and all. Example of Sagandha, Kupipakva Rasan is Makaradvaja, Rasasindura. Nirgandha is Rasamanika and Rasaparpura. Okay. Regarding the method of preparation, we have Andarduma and Baharduma. So usually Nirgandha preparations, those without Gandhaka preparation, when we do Kupipakva Rasanas are usually Andarduma. Because the basic principle is that during a Kupipakva Rasana, first in Gaharduma, we don't cork the bottle in the first itself because we have to burn out the excess sulfur outside. So this excess sulfur will be burning out as flames. We'll see it in the later slides. I'm just telling you, flames, it will go out as flames. Once the excess sulfur is burnt out, these flames go off and fumes started coming. So when fumes started coming, we should understand that, see, the parada has started to sublime. So it is at this point that we usually cork it. And after that, we give Tibratni. This is the general procedure of Beherduma, which we will be dealing it in very detailed in the further slides. Just to know, this is which is happening in Beherduma. But Andarduma, what happens is that because most of the Andarduma preparations, they don't have Gandaga with it. So there would be nothing to burn out. There will be no flames. Directly, it will be like the things will be going out as fumes. So once we see the fumes, what we do is that we cork it. So in Andarduma preparations, we cork it right from the beginning so that the vapors are inside. Okay, this is the difference between Andarduma preparation. Beherduma, we cork it only after in the later time. When the whole of the Gandhaka is burnt out, only we cork. But in Andarduma preparations, we cork it right from the beginning onwards. Okay, this is the difference between Andarduma and Beherduma. Even though I say most of them are Nirgandha preparation, Rasa Tarangani has mentioned an Andarduma preparation for Rasa Sintura, which has Gandhaka in it. Okay, there is a different context. Anyway, understand that most of the Andarduma preparations are Nirgandha preparations. Okay, and coming to its examples, Rasamanika and Shila Sintura are its example. And regarding the Behirduma, Rasa Sintura, Magaradvaja are all Behirduma preparation. Most of our preparations are Behirduma preparations only. Okay. Next, regarding where it is being placed, where the end product is formed. I've already told you Thalastha, Galastha, and Ubhayastha are the types. Okay, coming to Thalastha preparation, example is like Samira Pannaka, Swarnaganga, Galastha is Magaradvaja, Rasa Sindura, Ubhayastha is Inguliya Manika Rasa, Siddha Magaradvaja, etc. Okay. coming to the preparation of Kupkv or rasayanas. So understand that preparation of anything will have a Purva karma, Pradhana karma, and Paschat karma, right? In the same way, here also preparation of Kupkv rasayanas also have a Purva karma, Pradhana karma, and Paschat karma. So as we all know, what will be the Purva karma? It will be always assimilation of things, right? We have to go get the raw materials, we have to do its shodhana, we have to prepare the Valuka Yandra, we have to prepare the Pupi for Valuka Yandra, we have to place this Pupi in the Valuka Yandra. Okay? After filling of everything, Kajali and all, after filling, we have to place this Pupi in Valuka Yandra. So till this is going to be the Purva karma of the Pupi Pakwas. We will discuss each and every point in detail in further slides. Coming to Pradhana Karma, what is Pradhana Karma? The main point which you have to always remember is that give Krama Agni Paka. Okay, Krama Agni should be maintained. Slowly increase the temperature. Right from 50 degrees Celsius, you plot it. We always plot the temperature with a pyrometer. Plot it, give Krama Agni. Okay, give Krama Agni for the Paka. Observe the flames and fumes, or observe all the observations that you have to make during the procedures. Okay, and we have to do it very well. We have to observe it very rightfully. Only then we'll understand the stages in Kubhi Pakwa. We'll describe it all in the further slides. Then Shalaka Sanjanana. We'll always have two Shalakas with us, Shita Shalaka and Tapta Shalaka. One, Shita Shalaka is always to know how Kajali is, what is the status of Kajali, whether it has started melting, boiling, subliming, what is happening to the Kajali. Just to know that we always have a Shita Shalaka, and we also have a Tapta Shalaka just to clear off the bottle, neck bottle from depositing of Gandhaka, which is coming out, burning out. Okay, so two shalakas we have. So shalaka sanjanana we'll have to do in the pradhana karma. Then corking the pupi. Once the endpoint is observed, when the time of corking has come, you have to cork it and then allow it for swangash. After Tivragni and all, allow for swangashita. And paschat karma, you have to remove the pupi. After swangashita, remove the pupi from Valuka break the pupi, collect the end product. So this is the uh, three karmas, Purva karma, Pradhana karma, and Paschat karma as far as preparation of Kupkv Rasana is concerned. So now we will just look up to each of the karma in detail. What all is happening in each of these stages. Okay, we'll go. First, it is Purva karma. See, first thing, what do we do in Purva karma? As I have told you, you have to collect the raw materials. You have to identify them. Identify it as Gandhaka. Here we are going to give an example of Rasa Sindhura, okay? Because it is the Rasa Sindhura is the most commonly prepared Kupkv Rasayana. So here I have taken the preparation of Rasa Sindhura as an example to explain to you the procedure of preparing a Kupkv Rasayana. So we will be always talking in context of Rasa Sindhura here, okay? So first you have to take the raw material. You have to get the Parada, you have to get Gandhaka, you have to identify them as Gandhaka and Parada as per your API. Then what you do, you have to do with Shodhana. Corresponding Shodhana has to be done. And you have to always, after Shodhana, how do you confirm? You have your Samyak Shodhana Shuddhi Lakshanas, right? In your books, you have that. Just confirm it with those Lakshanas that these things are pure. Okay, and also definitely examinations also we can do in labs and also know its purity and all. So all those things you have to do, collect the things, get ready your raw materials. Okay. Next, what do you have to do for Pupi Pakwa? The basic thing which you need is Kajali. Okay, the basic thing which you need to prepare a Pupi Pakwa Rasayana is Kajali. But Kajali can be different. In Rasa Sindhura, it is just mercury and sulfur. When it comes to the Siddha Magradwaja, it is mercury, the sulfur, and gold. So in different Pupi Pakwa Rasayanas, it's different. So as per the references of the whatever you are going to make, as per its reference, you take the ingredients. And first you have to prepare the kajali for it. Okay, prepare the kajali with these ingredients. Now, there are certain rules to prepare kajali for Pupi Pakwa Rasayanas. The first one is that the kajali, if it is just rasa and gandhaka alone, as we have already mentioned, you know the quotation. Dadubir Gandhaga Desan Nadraver Matado Rasaha. Just combine Gandhaga and Rasa together. Titrate it well till the end point. That is Tushleshnam. It should be smooth. Nischandram, it should be lusterless. Tekha Purnatvam. When you take it, it should be yeah, it should be well going in between the these marks. Okay, rekha purnatvam should be there. Then what? Kajalagasam, it should be black. Varitaratvam, it should float on the, yeah, water. So these are the end points, the end or the lakshanas of Kajali. Till these lakshanas seen, you have to titrate it. Okay, after titration, if there is a Dravadravya mentioned in the preparation of Kubi Pakurasana, then after the preparation of Kajali, this Nishandra Kajali, you have to add the Dravadravya and again titrate it. Okay, this is what you have to be careful. First, form the Kajali first, then add Dravadravya and again titrate it. In Rasisintura, Vadankura Swarasa is usually mentioned as a Dravadravya, and that Vadankura Swarasa should be added only after the formation of the Kajali with Rasa and Gandhaka. Then add Vadankura Swarasa and then again titrate it to get the powder. Okay, so this is the first rule. Now the second rule is that in case if a dhatu is being mentioned along, like as I have told you in case of Siddhamagaradvaja, that is gold is being mentioned. So if a dhatu is being mentioned, then first make an amalgam. Okay, first make an amalgam of this dhatu with rasa, and then to this amalgam put gandhaka and form the kajali. So if it is swarna or rajata, you can add it as thin flakes. If it is Naga, Vanga, or Yashada, it has low melting point. So what should you do? You melt it first, then add it with Resa, that is mercury, titrate it to form the amalgam. To this add Gandhaka. Okay. Now, if it is a mineral like Haridala, Manashila, Gauri Pashana, then what you have to do? You first prepare the kajali with Gandhaka. Rasa and Gandhaka, you prepare the kajali. To this kajali, you add Haridala, Manashila, and Gauri Pashana, whatever it is. Add again, titrate it well, and take it as the ingredient for Kupi Rasayana. So these are the basic rules for preparing the kajali of the Kupi Rasayana. So it should be very important. Kajali formation, if it is just rasa and gandhaka, do it nirdrava. First form the kajali, then add dravadravya and do the titration. If dadu has to be added, first dadu and rasa combine, amalgam, then add gandhaka. If haritala manashila is there, then first form the kajali with rasa and gandhaka, and then add the haritala or manashila, whichever mineral is there, then add that. Okay, these are the general rules for preparation of kajali for Kupkv Rasana. Hope it is clear also. Next it is preparation of the kupi. Okay, there are lots of vessels or like the bottles which has been mentioned for the preparation of kupi in or classical reference. There is like kaju kupi is there, mrit patra is there, loha is there, copper is there. Lots of references are there. I have given everything in the notes, but in practical purpose, what we use is amber colored glass bottles to be simple beer bottles. That is what we usually use for preparing a kupi. So you take one kupi, you clean it well, dry it well. Then what you have to do? You have to wrap it. Mritika lipta ambara. That is the cloth which is smeared with mud. Regarding the mud also, there is a lot of references in our classics. All those things I have given it in the note. You can go through it. But in practical practice, what you usually take is multani mitti. Okay, you mix cloth with mitti. That is, usually we take 4 angula broad cloth and we mix it with multani mitti and you wrap it around the kopi. Okay, and wrapping also there is one rule. First you wrap it once and you have to dry it. Again wrap it, dry it. In this way, 7 wrappings you should undergo, and after each wrapping you should dry the bottle. Only then you can get a good heat resistant bottle. Okay, this is how you have to do. 7 layers of wrapping you have to do with multani mitti smeared cloth, but after each of the wrapping you have to dry it. Okay, so this is regarding the preparation of the kupi. Now our kupi is also, yeah, ready. What is next? Next is that filling of the kupi. Okay, filling kupi. How do you fill the kupi? You should not waste the kachili and all. It is really costly. So keep a funnel, fill it with it. And while filling, again, what you have to observe, what you have to be careful is that fill only 1/3 part of the kupi, because you should give ample space for the kajali to melt, boil, sublime and all. So fill only 1/3 of the kupi. That is important. Okay. Next, placing this kupi in Valuka Yandra. For this, you should understand what Valuka Yantra is. So, we'll have a brief description about what Valuka Yantra is. Hope we'll have this detailed description during when we take Yandra, Puda, Poshti and all. But because it is inevitable, we'll have a brief description of what Valuka Yandra is. Okay, this is just a pictorial representation. Actually, this is the bhatti, that is usual thing which we have for Valuka Yandra. That is, we prepare something like this. You saw in the upper picture. See, in this picture, no, you have this. You have two holes like this, and in the upper part you have a, see, you have a opening like this. See, this opening. This opening is what you see here. Okay, so understand that this is what you called as a bhatti, okay, or a furnace, bhatti. Okay, and in this, inside this bhatti, we usually insert a trench, an iron trench. See, you can see in this picture, this iron button, this rim, no, this is a rim of the trench actually. So this iron trench we insert inside this bhatti. So we call this trench as bhanda. Okay, we call it as bhanda. So in this we can see, this is the, see, this one is the iron trench, this is the bhanda. Okay, and there is specific dimensions for bhanda also. It should be 1 vitasti deep, and the capacity should be of 5 adaka. Okay, this is the dimensions of a bhanda. Bhanda is usually an iron trench is what we usually take. There are in classical references mud and all is being told, but for practically, for good transmission of heat and all, we usually take bhanda as iron trench. That is what we take as a bhanda, and the dimensions are the same. That is 1 vitasti and deep and 5 ataka it should hold out. Okay, and this we would take, and this bhanda will have a hole at the bottom. The chidra would be there, and its pramana is also given as tarjanya angula pramana, or 2 to 3 angula in diameter. Usually in practical practice we take it as 2 to 3 angula diameter. That hole will, that chidra would be there, and in that chidra we would be placing an abraga patra. As per Rasa Tarangani reference, we place a mica flake, that is abraga patra, we keep it. Why do we keep this abraga patra? Because abraga mica, as we all know, it is a very, yeah, it takes up heat very fast and it gives off heat also very fast. That is why it has been used in iron boxes, you know, no, iron box have got mica inside. It gets heated up very fast and it loses heat also very fast. This is exactly what we need here, because in the lower part we are fueling it down, no, and here we have already told that we are giving an indirect heating to the, yeah, kajili, because kajili is inside the pupi and we are giving indirect heating. So if it is iron, when we take iron trench, if the bottom is also iron, iron takes a lot of time to heat up, and iron takes a lot of time to give up heating also. So just to avoid that, what we take is that area we just cover it with abraga patra, so that the heat transmission is easy and it goes out also easy. Okay, so we keep abraga patra there, and then we to 2 to 3 angulas we first fill up the sand. Then we keep up the bottle upi right in the center, and we also connect the pyrometer. The wire of pyrometer also be connected. Then we put sand, all over sand. The in all sides we put sand, up to the bottle, up to the neck of the bottle. We put sand. Okay, and then we give fuel. So this is how we keep Kupi inside the Valuka Yantra. Hope it is clear. Okay. This is the picture. So here in the upper, in here in this hole, in the here, from here we give the the fuel. From here we collect the ashes. Okay, this is the bhatti. Now coming to pradhana karma. Okay, we are coming up to pradhana karma. So we are going to prepare gobi pakwa now. So, Kramagni, that is the most important thing, as I have already told you. We divide the Pradhana Karma into 3 stages. First stage we give only Nritu Agni, then we give Madhyama Agni, then in the last stage we give Tivra Agni. In Rasa Tarangani and all, we can see only 2 stages for the preparation of Rasa Sindhura, that is Mritu Agni and Tivra Agni only. 2 Yama we say for Mritu Agni, 2 Yama we say for Tivra Agni. But in Rasendra Sara Sangraha, it has been very detailedly told about these 3 stages as Mridu, Madhya, Tivra, Agni, and approximate time that it is told is like with 4 hours. 4 hours Mridu, 4 hours Madhyama, 4 hours Tivra, Agni. But it is never right to calculate the stages on the basis of hours, because it can vary with a lot of factors. We can deal it later. That is, if your the fuel you're giving is not right, that is not constant temperature, more time it will take. If the temperature is low, if it is a humid climate, again more time you will take. Based on the ingredients, it can take more time, isn't it? If it is like if equal amount of sulfur and mercury you are taking, then it may take only this much hours, 12 hours in short you'll get rasa sindhura. But if you are going to take triguna jarida kajali, that is one part mercury with three parts of sulfur, till 100 parts it has been told in the classics. So based on the amount of sulfur, the time will also increase for getting the end product. So we can never say it in the basis of hours, but roughly we say that it is 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours each. But you should never say it in the hour type. Know the stages, know the signs, take up the observations, that when the kajali melt, when it is boiling, when it is subliming. So based on that only you have to decide the stage. Okay, first we'll see the mridu agni stage. During in this stage, we give a temperature of around 150 degrees to 200 degrees Celsius. We give. Okay, and here what is happening? Yeah, here melting of the kajali. First, the kajali melts. Okay, in this temperature, kajali is melting. And this is confirmed with Shita Shalaka. Okay, there is the cold the Shalaka which we keep at room temperature. With that, we are checking whether kajali is melting. Okay, then sulfur starts to burn out as blue flames. So we can understand that when the blue flames come, we can understand the Gandhaka Jarana is starting. Okay, and then so this is the stage. And in after the mritu agni, that is when should we understand that mritu agni stage is over, when should we give more fuel, when should we go to the next stage? That is when we look through the opening of the bottle. You can see something like this. See this one. Saw this yellow thing? Yeah, this shows that it is boiling. It has started, kajali has started to boil. See this yellow thing. Okay, but when it is like this red, it is the stage that we have to start corking it. When it is madhyama stage is over, and it is going to be, it is the time for it to start to give tivragni. That is, the whole of sulfur is burnt now. It is only rasa that is remaining now. In this stage, when we see through the hole of the bottle, when that red thing has come, so we should understand that, yeah, it is the time for you to cork. Okay, so when should we understand that we should give more fuel? That is when you look through it and you find yellow thing there. That is, it is almost yellow color. You should give more agni. You should go to the next stage, that is madhyama agni stage. Give rise the temperature from 200 to up to 400 degrees Celsius. We can see boiling of kajal and profuse sulfur fumes will be coming out. So in this stage, because of this profuse sulfur fumes coming up, there is chance for the neck of the bottle to get blocked with the sulfur. So we use tapta shalaga to just clear off that blockage. Okay. Then once the whole of the sulfur is being burnt out, we can see that no more flames are coming, but we begin to see some fumes, some white fumes coming up. At that point, understand that, yeah, almost the whole of the Gandhaka has boiled and gone out. Gandhaka Jarana is almost nearing to its end. Now we have this time for us to cork. Okay, just view it. There are certain more things also, tests also to be done. Like we'll deal it with it coming slides. So just look at the primary thing. Just look into the bottle and you can see that red thing. Okay, as I have already shown you, the red. That is exactly why you call it as Udaya Bhaskara Rasa. You can see that red thing in the bottom of the Kupi, and when that is there, you will do a few more tests which we will deal in the coming slides. So those tests has to be done, and when we confirm that the whole of the Gandhaka is burnt out, we cork it. Okay, we cork it with a wooden cork, put multani mitti and all around it, and then what will we do? We should remove the sand from the neck portion of the bottle. Remove the sand. Okay, so remove the sand and all, and that is now give Tivragni. The next 4 hours, for this last stage, we don't have any further endpoints to look into. So in the last stage, we give 4 hours Tibra Agni. That is from 400 to 600, 650 degrees Celsius approximately. The temperature goes around 600, not more than 600 we go. 600, 4 hours constant temperature we give, and then we remove the fuel and let it for Swangashita. Okay, so this is the Krama Agni that we give, and this is the stages of Pradhana Karma and the temperature variations. Okay, it is not up to 600 degrees Celsius for all preparation or Kupi Pakwa preparations. It is only in case of Rasa Sindhura that we say we should go till 600 degrees Celsius. Okay, and the time also, as I have already told you, it is not dependent on on the hours. It is dependent how much heat you have to give depends upon the endpoints. I have already mentioned you the observations, the test that you have to make while giving the temperature, and how long you have to give certain temperature. That should be done based on the test or based on the observations that you make during the process, and that depends upon the amount of sulfur. How long Ritu Agni is going to be given, how long Madhyama Agni is going to be given, that all depends upon the amount of sulfur you are going to add, ingredients of the preparations, the quality of the sand, quality of the fuel, and the consistency of heating that you are going to give. So the temperature varies on all these things. And in case of preparations also, if it is Rasa Sindhura, Malla Sindhura and all, 12 hours, in and around 12 hours will be usually enough, and the temperature maximum which you have to go is 600 degrees Celsius. In Rasa Karpurasi, it is only 300 degrees Celsius up to which you have to go, and the time is also 9 hours only. In Rasa Pushpa also, it is 400 degrees Celsius is the maximum limit, and 9 hours is the approximate time that is needed. In Swarna Vanka, 450 degrees Celsius, and it is 12 hours. See, so these are the variations in temperature. So the example that I have cited you is regarding Rasa Sindhura. So it is approximately 12 hours, and the maximum temperature that you have to reach is also around 600 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is the temperature that we have charted for preparing the. We have to chart this always when you do a Kupkv Rasana. Chart this temperature. That is with temperature to time you have to plot it. Okay, it usually comes up to 12 hours if it is Samaguna Jarida. If it is Dviguna Jarida, it takes more hours. It takes around 14 hours. If it is Triguna, it takes around 18 hours. Shadguna and all, I think it takes around 24 hours, more than 24 hours it takes. So it depends upon the amount of sulfur. Okay. Next, Shalaka Sanchana. This we have already dealt with. No, I have told you about Tapta Shalaka, Shita Shalaka. See, when you put it, this is Tapta Shalaka which we have put, and you can see that orange flame coming. You can see, red orange flame coming out. This is in the Madhyama Pata stage. That is, when it is blocked with sulfur, we put Tapta Shalaka inside, and these flames we can see. Okay, we have already dealt with this Tapta Shalaka, where we put Shita Shalaka. That is first to analyze the stage of Kajali, and the second, that is, I've already told you, no, that is few tests we have to do before corking. First one is that the flames gets over, and this just the fumes that comes up. That is the first one. Second one is that when you look into, you can see a red thing in the bottom of the pupi. The third thing is this one. You put in Shita Shalaka, and you will find nothing. Okay, at the end of the rod there will be nothing, because the parata has started to sublime, no, so kajali would not stick onto this end of this thing, shalaka. So that is the third test. Okay, before corking. And see, these are the observations you have. Shalaka Sanjanana, flame test. Blue flames usually in the starting, yellow orange flames in the Madhyama stage. Absence of flame when you see, you have to cork. Order also, arsenic or sulfur fumes order you will get based on the ingredients. Kupi bottom, when you view, you can get sun yellow during the initial stages, that is in the Mritu Agni time. Madhyama Agni, when it is over, you will get reddish color in the bottom. And the next thing, the last test which we usually do is coin test. You take a copper coin, you place at the opening of this poopy, and you can see white spots in this coin. And this shows that it is the parada which is coming out, and it is time for you to cut.